What's up? This is TGIR, and I'm Anthony. This is Skylar, and I am wearing a purple shirt to celebrate Grimace's birthday because it's been his birthday for about a month now, which I find to be wildly unfair. But, because we only get one, and he gets a whole milkshake, and he gets to be on the screen at McDonald's. I love McDonald's. Anyways.
He's old as hell, man.
Yeah, he's old. I'm old, too. I got a gray hair in my beard.
I will say I want a shake made after me, though. Grimace has one, and I don't.
That's not fair. He has like a whole month birthday. He gets to be on one of the biggest chains ever. We get to be on our loved ones' minds. Fuck that shit. And some of the people. I mean, my dad told me happy birthday. I'm like 5 years.
I don't want to have a birthday. I don't want a present. I want you to come up with me with a recipe. Skylar Shake, the SS.
Which would be made of some red beard hair, fart, peanut butter, crisps, barbecue sauce. It would be the worst shake ever.
It would be made. You know what? We're not gonna go.
Doesn't matter. No. You know what else is unfair? Not just Grimace's birthday. It's the fact that I have to cover this game that I think might be kind of good. That's unfair that I've been swayed a little bit. And the game would be Final Fantasy 16. I have a gripe about this game. It's not online. Don't start. I want to say my piece. And then you can crack your knuckles and say your piece, Mr. Bodyguard. It's not online. It's like I don't mind the combat system. I hate the story. I wish we were chopping Cloud's head off.
That's 7. It's not even the same game.
No,
online.
It doesn't have
play
to.
14.
It doesn't have to. I understand that 14's online and 14.2 and 14.3 and 14.7.
There is no.
I know. But listen. I just wish that in this game we would somehow find Cloud and we would cut his head off.
It's not even the same universe.
And dip him in shit. I don't care. I want him to be. I want to dip him.
What do you hate about Cloud? Well, okay, no, we're talking about 16.
I just want to say, I wish that he would die. Listen, but this game. This game, to me, it's sound. It is sound. It's sound. It looks good. It just doesn't play like shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't buy it. I played the demo. It doesn't play like shit. It doesn't look like shit. It's a pretty sound game. It's just not online, and I feel like after you beat the story, you can wait for DLC, or you can wander around the sandbox where you've completed everything. Which really, I hate that. I do hate that. I do. But Final Fantasy is a game that fans like Skylar, who have been here forever, will keep coming back to, and I think that this one is it's a really good breath of fresh air to come back to and be like, wow, they've retooled a lot of things here. This game isn't total shit.
Look, if you want online, go play Elder Scrolls. That's cool. Go play Elder Scrolls.
No, Elder Scrolls
go
is
play
shit.
Elder Scrolls.
I don't like Elder Scrolls.
Whatever. You've been on it for like 5 years.
No, I ain't. It's boring.
But 16. You can say, oh, it's the crystals and there's monsters, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I do not care. This is the first, even though they kind of took us from the last time, this is the first Final Fantasy that we've gotten for this generation of consoles. It looks fantastic. It plays very smoothly. The gameplay is phenomenal. The attacks, the skills that you can set, the different, you can adjust between the icons that you have. So you have different abilities for the different, basically these giant monsters that you summon at your command, which I think is great. It's like having, it's almost like playing Devil May Cry, where you have like the different classes, the Trickster, the Gunslinger, the Swords, all of it. It's kind of like that, but it's different elements. It's a definitely different playthrough, almost like how Final Fantasy 13 was with lightning.
Exactly. It's a wonderful game. You can use these skills. You can power yourself up. You can turn it off and uninstall from your system. You can do a whole bunch of crazy stuff with this game, and it's just endless possibilities until the story's over and then there's nothing else. I find it wild, and I don't give a shit what universe or who you are, where you are. I find it crazy that you can play Final Fantasy online on PlayStation 2, but then we're at PS5, and it's just. You're stuck.
You're mad that it's an online game?
It's not an online game.
There's 14. 14 is an online game.
I just don't understand why the game can be so new and there's no online features at all. People would, Final Fantasy online, just seems like it has to be online. So it's huge.
I mean, we're kind of going back to the argument that we have in the last episode, though, I mean, it's like some games can be single player. They're not dying. Like
Which
16.
I have always said that if you are a franchise that's been here, people are going to come back to it. I just think that the game, if you look at the environment of Final Fantasy, and you look at everything and how you're playing. Again, I only played the demo, but you only need that little piece to realize that this is the base of what the game is made. It's cream of the crop right here. This is pretty much what you get. Playing it online with somebody else would be totally sweet. That's really beyond being like just a salty, not Final Fantasy fan. Is the only thing that I don't like. I just think that it would be so dope because the bosses are larger than life.
They are.
They're large.
Very big in this one.
So it could be the fact that I've been playing a lot of Diablo and you're able to go with 4 guys and that stuff. That I would like to do that in Final Fantasy, and I think that it could be doable and it would go smoothly. The fact that it's not online and people love the game so much makes me think they're going to run through it and then wait like this for the add-on to come or the expansion to come out, and then they're gonna fly through that and then we're gonna be like, I guess that was fun. I hate that.
I think that if you run through a game, in some instances that's a compliment because you didn't put it down. Like 15, I did not put that down. I played through the whole thing, especially that final, that giant turtle boss that took me like literally a day. I did not turn off my PS4. I kept it on.
That.
I took breaks and I was concentrated on that fight. I almost died so many times. I was gonna break my TV.
I remember that.
But
like I said, this isn't it isn't like having like a negative attitude toward the game because the game is nice. I just wish that I wish they had like just a little bit more. That's all.
What do you want?
Go up on that game. And I like to have that. And I like to have a more expensive like skill tree where they can level up and become more powerful, and not just kind of. That's also limited too. I'm not saying that I hate this game. Let's retool it all. I get what it is, but I would just. I just don't like Final Fantasy, and this speaks to the game and how beautiful it is. It's so nice in the world and the environment and everything looks so cool that I'm like, man, I hate Final Fantasy, but how sweet would it be to play this fucker online? Because the bosses are huge.
They are.
And they look great, and I would love to be with Skylar and one of our buddies and just tearing the boss up. Like, kind of reminds me like how it felt whenever, I was online with my buddies playing Monster Hunter World and we were just beating the hell out of this boss. It's so fun.
Yeah.
You just don't have that element here, but it won't make the game suffer because, again, people come to play Final Fantasy because it's Final Fantasy. And for the first time in a long time, ever, to me, it doesn't look like absolute shit. This is a game that you're going to want to play. You won't have to listen to Cloud's horrible dialogue like, ugh. I know my sword's bigger than 3 men, but I hate my life.
That's not.
Yeah, he does. Cloud walks outside. He's like, the air, wind.
That's not what he does.
The ground.
That's not what he does.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's so bad. No, seriously, I cannot stand Cloud at all. I wish that if Final Fantasy Cloud dies, I'll buy it and fucking platinum it. That's the first thing. All it is just slicing him up forever.
Go play Leon on Final Fantasy VIII if you hated him.
Jesus, if
it
gets
you
worse,
hate him.
If it gets worse, just shoot me. But here's the thing, you can fight monsters and all kinds of stuff in Final Fantasy, but have you ever thought of what it would be like to fight a robot versus a robot, but not just a robot versus a robot, but do you ever think about what it'd be like to verse Megaman versus Cyborg from the Teen Titans?
Cyborg's kind of a hybrid when you think about it.
Yeah, well, hold on now, because he was a human.
Yeah, but he's still kind of human when you see him. You saw him in the animated, you saw him in Justice League, like they're still big.
That's facts. That's facts. I don't know. Megaman, he was made in a lab to, there's another guy that made army robots that want to take over the world, and I'm blanking on his name, Professor, and the other professor made Megaman to, to stop that, which he didn't. I think that if Megaman fought Cyborg, I believe that he would win, and here's why, is because all the people that Megaman encountered when he defeated them, which we know he did defeat them. He took in all their powers. He was able to mimic their powers, so he has a big array of powers. On top of having a big array of powers, he has his gun that seemingly can charge and blast through anything. On top of that, to me, it's the biggest thing that Megaman has. He has unlimited stamina. He never gets tired. Never. And I think that you can go up and pull up your array of everything that Cyborg does, but I'm just saying, Cyborg does not have unlimited stamina.
Cyborg does not have unlimited stamina, but Mega Man can be killed. He does get killed by bosses and enemies all the time. I can't tell how many times I've been killed on there on the first Mega Man on Super Nintendo, and he does the whole, and he just fucking...
Hold on. Let me take it back to this guy right here. He just said Mega Man does die. He said this thing runs faster than a Mach 5 Razor, Gillette, the best the man can get, whatever he said. What'd you say, Mach whatever?
Did you even watch the video?
He said he runs faster than anything. If he really ran that fast, he would run through everything on the level. Even the loops, he would run through them, and the game would be over. If that was how it worked. And that is why when you brought up, he can run faster than a blah, 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 then how did I run into a little robot that popped up like this, and he hit it, and rings fell out of him?
Because...
Same argument.
Because game developers made it that way, and y'all need to get your shit together.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, Cyborg, while I'm not a hater of Cyborg, he just looks like, he looks very similar to Mega Man from the...
He can interface with machines, he's very smart technology-wise, he has an array of weapons in his robot body, he is very strong, he is ridiculously strong.
So is Mega Man.
Mega Man. And, this is the most important part, I know Mega Man can't do this. Cyborg, I don't care what none of y'all say, Cyborg could definitely fuck Raven, who was the hot Teen Titan. I don't care what nobody says. If you're Team Starfire and Robin, then you can fuck off.
He could have sex with the hottest drawing. Jesus Christ. Okay, I guess she was pretty hot. I don't know.
You don't know? You didn't watch cartoons? You didn't watch, you didn't see, all the animations? I mean, look, I'm not saying Starfire wasn't hot either, but I was Team Raven.
I was
Team Raven.
I wasn't a Teen Titans fan like that. My sister was a huge Teen Titans fan. I know about them, but I didn't sit down and watch the show every day. I've seen episodes.
Oh, God.
I've seen episodes. I know enough to know that Teen Titans Go, the little kid
Go
version,
sucks.
It sucks compared to what Teen Titans was. Now, I did sit down and watch some of them. I'm just not I can't sit down and shoot the shit with you and put them in chronological order. But I did watch it, so I know who Robin is, I know who Starfire is, I know who Beast Boy is, I know who Raven is, I know Cyborg, and I know who they are. But I would just have to say that while they are evenly matched, because they're both super strong, and they're both super strong, they both have guns, weapons, and I would say that Mega Man has a more wide array of powers, and he doesn't run out of energy. He will run Cyborg down. And he will, he will kill Cyborg. No. And I don't see any way that Cyborg does beat him. Now, if it was Mega Man versus the Teen Titans, I could understand. But...
Well, that's just Mega Man getting jumped. That's...
Exactly. But that's the thing. Mega Man took out everything that was opposing him himself. You can't go out and buy a game called Cyborg from Teen Titans.
That's because they never made it, but I bet it'd be awesome. I would watch a standalone Cyborg movie or a game. I would try it.
Is there even a Teen Titans game that wasn't a weird little just knockoff straight to the story?
I mean, no, they never really went with that. I mean, but Mega Man, what? It's the same thing every single time. It's
so it's Call of Duty.
Hop up on things, shoot things, kill the boss, maybe get a power.
So it's Call of Duty. So it's Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy's not the same. Play 13, play 15, play 16. They're not the same. Play 7.
You play God of War, you play God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War. They basically have to have.
What's wrong with me? You can't just be like, hey, God of War, we're an action game, but then for God of War 2, we're gonna be an RPG where you play turn-based battles.
That's literally what you just said about Mega Man. You can't be like, oh, this is Mega Man, but next this is Mega Man.
We're talking about games now. We're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they are the same thing, but all I'm saying is. Mega Man will just very simply, he will run down Cyborg and he will kill him. You can do what you want to. I won this debate. You can feel how you want to feel, but I beat you in this debate. But while we're talking about there never being a Teen Titans game, while we're talking about there never being, God of War's the same, Final Fantasy, I want to talk about, and Scott wants to talk about, games that we think should never be touched, never be remade. They can be remastered because that's just kind of texturing it and, you know what I'm saying?
Don't even do that, honestly.
I mean, but they're probably not now. But they, PS4 and stuff, PS3 that they did the remasters. But we had a long talk about games that we think should never, ever, ever be touched again.
Nope.
And we're gonna let Skylar lead this one off. He's really passionate about it. So.
Look, I'm going to let you know right now. I already had games off the top of my head, but then I was like, some of these I don't know if people would know. So I was like, let's go with common ones that people played, probably 20, 30 years ago. The first one we're kicking this off with is Toy Story. Holy crap. Toy Story on PlayStation 1. That was...
One of the collectors.
Oh. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were, 7, 8 years old, you're watching the movie, you're playing it on PS1 at the time, wow, I get to be buzzed. Go pause this right now and go look up Toy Story and then come back and tell me you want a remaster of it. And then send me your address.
It's kind of like the Rugrats game. Back in the day, Rugrats on PS1, that was pulling the trigger and everybody wanted it. And I being, a spoiled brat, I had it. And probably wouldn't play it today, but I have fond memories of it. Hey, keep going.
Dude, okay. It was, you basically, you might as well have been just holding a Buzz figurine and just, that's what it is. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, it's a fun little game where you can run and you can collect everything, and
yeah,
those are fun games. See, while he goes there, the game that I think would be fun to be remade, but I don't want it to ever be touched, is The Warriors. The Warriors was a fantastic game, and I just so recently re-downloaded I had the remastered version on my PS4, and I re-downloaded it on my PS5, and it's almost unplayable. It looks like you're in developer mode where it's just, really early development stages of the game, just because it's so old. But I still did my best to play it because I love it. And the Warriors, their gangs, they fight gangs like the Furies and the Moonrunners and the Hi-Hats and the Orphans, and you're trying to get back to Coney because the Rifts think that the Warriors shot Cyrus, which they did not. And do that Warriors by the play, and you kill him on the beach. Very fun game, should never be touched again. But I would like to even go back even further to a game that I'm not sure if it has been remade. I don't know if this game has been remade at all, but I only played it on the Super NES, and that's Smash TV. You're like on it's like you're on a game show, and it's like from an aerial view, and you just got you and your buddy on there, and you're co-oping, and you're killing these things as they come through doors, and you're advancing through the game, and the cheesy guy comes down with the girls around him, and that's a really cool game. Those really, for me, are the only two games that I don't want to be touched. I mean, in the Warriors, do you know what health was in the Warriors?
No.
Meth. Yeah, or not meth. Meth or coke. It was called Flash. You literally snorted it up your nose. And if you didn't have money to buy the Flash, you could just beat up the drug dealer. The only bad thing is when you came back for help the next time, he wouldn't be there because you killed him. If you needed money and you didn't want to kill the drug dealer, you could break into a car and steal the stereo. You could break into the stores and loot the stores. Hell, there's one mission on the game where it's a blackout and you loot the whole city. You can do things in those games that you can't do in games today. But at this point now, I'm just oodling over the Warriors, so I'm going to let Skylar talk about the games he liked.
So the next one that should not be remade, which is disappointing, and it was near and dear to my heart when I was a kid. I remember playing it on the PS1, Ape Escape. Ape Escape, you went through with this kid that had like this spiky red hair. You had a net, you had a baton, you had a couple gadgets. Looked like a lightsaber. I don't know what they were trying to go for here. And your goal was to go around and catch apes that had like mind control hats on by some pissed off monkey. The concept of that is beyond me, and the guy that made that, you had the best dealer in the city.
Yeah, you had a flash of your own. You used it.
Really bad.
And Apex Escape was a game that I probably played because it was on my modded Xbox. But I wouldn't have bought it, and I don't know how you got it. I think that you might have bought it.
That game came out, I was like 7 years old.
Oh, well.
It was on PS1.
If you're 7, you get Apex Escape for free.
Next one coming up, though, that should not be remade is Jet Moto. Jet Moto was like, just like the game on 64. I get Wave Rider? Is that what it was called?
Wave Race?
Wave Race? Is that what it was?
Were you racing the jet skis?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what Jet Moto was. I mean, a little more extreme. I mean, it's basically, Jet Moto is basically the one mission from Crash where you're on your, little Wave Rider and you're doing flips and you're trying to avoid the bombs and stuff, but all stretched out in a game and you're racing other people trying to do the same thing. Jet Moto should not come back.
No, I mean, and there's so many different games like that, but there is a game that we both think shouldn't be touched. Obviously, I'm saying because I love them. He's kind of saying because they just didn't age well. There's a game that we played on very different consoles, and they're very different games, but they're the same game. And that game is Manhunt 2. I played Manhunt 2 on the Wii, and I got it before it got taken off the shelves because in order to kill someone with a knife, you had to use the Wii nunchuck and stab them. I remember walking up on someone and grabbing the back of the toilet seat tank lid, and using the nunchuck and the stick to beat him, and the more you snuck up on him, it would go from orange or yellow to orange to red to dark red, and then even darker. When you do that, it goes into like a thing where you can do it, but with the Wii you could actually do it, so it got taken off shelves. So I played that Manhunt 2, and that game was awesome. When you're walking through the insane asylum and you're seeing flashbacks of things, you're seeing ghosts that aren't there, things that are moving but no one's moving it, and the guy you are is an absolute maniac. Great setup, a Rockstar game, played like a Rockstar game. Everyone's hands did this. Some of their faces were just a still picture and their mouth didn't move. They were just like,
a little weird.
But, I mean, what are your memories of Manhunt 2?
I remember Manhunt 2, it just, you're waking up, you're supposed to be dead. You run that door, you're supposed to be dead, you wake up, there's like a director, which is, kind of overplayed, I think. And he basically tells you who you need to kill and you do it. It's like it almost feels a little bit like you're kind of Grand Theft Autoing it, like doing almost whatever you want, however gruesome you want, but
you're being led around. It's not as open world as Grand Theft Auto.
No, I'm not saying it's open world. No, but I'm saying it's like, when we were younger, we didn't play Grand Theft Auto. I didn't play Grand Theft Auto for the missions. I did it for the cheat codes, so I could run around, get the highest one level, and kill everybody. And that's kind of what Manhunt kind of gives me the...
I'm going to be completely honest. Me and my brother didn't play the Grand Theft Auto games. We played a little bit of 3, and we played a little bit of Vice City, but I never played San Andreas until I was 20 years old. And Grand Theft Auto 4, I think I might have played that once with a high school friend, and then GTA 5, after I completed the campaign, I never touched it again. So that's just a weird fact about me. I'm not a big GTA crazy person. I don't care if another one ever gets made. I mean, and then Saints Row 1 was cool. Saints Row 2 was even cool. It was getting a little bit weird. Saints Row 3 and all that. My brother was a big fan, so I played them just because he bought them. Those went way off the rails. I don't know about that. But back to the topic here. Manhunt 2 was gruesome. There wasn't a 3, was there?
No.
There wasn't a 3. There probably won't be a 3, but there does need to be a remake of 2 because that game was great and it was gory, and you can kind of put it in a time frame. Around games like The Suffering was coming out, and it's just all these the killer kind of thing, the crazy person kind of game, and this dark theme. Those games are awesome, and the old school, and just like Manhunt, just like the Warriors, Rockstar made that game. Rockstar kind of pushed the envelope, and GTA, Rockstar, they pushed the envelope. That's kind of, they were here. So, but that's pretty much what we got for that. And
I have one more game that shouldn't have been remade.
Oh, okay.
And Robot Chicken did a skit on it, and it was hilarious. Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper was a dog that was rapping and dancing, and you just press the buttons to the beat of the song. His instructor at the dojo, for a rapper who did karate or whatever, had an onion for a head.
We clearly lived different childhoods. I met him when he was an adult. I had no idea what rap was a rapper is.
One of those games in like the corner of my mind. It didn't really become unlocked until I saw the skit that Adult Swim did, and I was like, holy shit. Don't do that game.
Okay, well, and with that, those are games that we think shouldn't be touched, and that's TGIR. The game is real no matter how many days that Grimace gets to call his birthday.